Good morning, friends. I'm once again back, and today my topic is going to be discrimination. This is a right which has been given to us by the Constitution of our country. In the very preamble, it is written that we are all one, equal. Even Article 14 says there should be no discrimination in any form, whether religion, whether living standards, education, even right to life, property comes under this discrimination. This topic will be only and precisely related to my own cantonment, that is Ambala cantonment. Now, just to brief, that most of these cantonments we are considered as old grant bungalows or OGBs we are called. And during the 1970 era, when the 1962 and the 1971 war happened, the military lands and cantonment services, because at that time there was no DG lands, and the department was called the military lands and cantonments, very scanty information used to reach the residents. Or at times, we were the same old residents or bungalow owners that we were never willing to share anything with our neighborhood. So friends, I salute the valor of the 1962 and 71 war outcomes, to my men in uniform, to their courage. But you will be surprised that after these two happenings, the army became aggressive towards the old grant bungalows, and their demand to resume old grant bungalows under the Governor General Order of 1836 number 179 was in a bigger way. To show you of Ambala cantonment, which was third during British regime and at the present government after independence, a very sensitive cantonment because of its geographical placement. We are at a crow flight distance from our two neighbors which are very sensitive to us, that is Pakistan and China. So even after having from 1947 to 71 or 70, some more than 47 old grant bungalows already resumed, making a total of about 298 acres of land within Ambala cantonment in the hands of the local military authority. The army or the Ministry of Defence yet pursued that they would like to resume more bungalows in Ambala cantonment. I would like to show you this list of resumed bungalows, which will chronologically show you how these 47 bungalows were resumed, when, and what are they put to use at now, and what the total of acre area comes. The Indian Army proceeded with resumption notices in 1970 to 75. Some odd 20 bungalows were given resumption notices in Ambala cantonment. Many of them volunteered at that stage and agreed to the Sardar Swaran Singh resumption policy of compensation either, and took their compensation along with a 500 square yard plot. But out of these, some were not, and they were reluctant, so they filed suit for declarations in the honorable courts. I would specifically now move to 10 bungalows or 10 OGBs. Now, these resumption notices to these 10 OGBs was given, and all of the 10 went to the lower court. They filed suit for declarations. Out of these 10, some won, some lost. Some filed session court cases. They went to the next court, and who had lost, obviously they had filed suits. Now, it's very interesting Out of these, 3 bungalows, OGBs, in which one was mine, 102, the mall, leaving the other 2, where both the people had lost from the session court. The owners had filed regular second appeals in the Honorable High Court, and then they went up till Supreme Court. But in my 102, the department, after losing from the session court, filed a regular second appeal against the late Shri S.S. Das, my father. And here I would openly say there were other 7 cases where similarly the department or the local defence estate office Ambala had lost. There were no regular second appeals filed. Friends, this video would be very subjective. Whatever I will speak or exhibit would be in form of evidence. I am ready to face any kind of discrimination may happen with me after this video being launched. I may face threat to my life either from these 7 bungalow owners. Presently, most of them have been sold illegally, from the present illegal occupants, or maybe at the hands of the Defence Estate Office Ambala or the Ministry of Defence, who in the last 40 years has been discriminately misusing its power in Ambala cantonment. How this all came up to me is a story which has already been told, and I would once again very quickly repeat it, that when in 2003 the Honorable High Court's RSA notice was received by me, my first option after that notice was that I met my local president, late Shri Rajkumar, and his team, including Mr. Sandeep Jain. But to my evil, they were of no use. I met Major Deepak Chauhan, who finally gave me all the knowledge and courage to take on the system and the army by face value. During this period, I even met an illegal HOR of Srimati Chitra Kumari. She had already lost her resumption notice in 2001 on 14th February of a bungalow in Ambala cantonment, that the bungalow is an OGB and can be resumed by giving 1 month notice. In that discussion, the HOR of Chitra Kumari showed me an affidavit filed by the Defence Estate Officer of Ambala, Mr. Alok Gupta, now retired, admitting that bungalow number 18 Staff Road and bungalow number 19 Elgin Road were under resumption and their cases were pending in the courts. Friends, if you want, and I would ask my video man, we can show these 2 affidavits, but I do not want to go into the confrontation towards my Honorable Supreme Court where these affidavits were filed. I will show it to the court, but I would like to read what Shri Alok Gupta, DO Ambala, files in May 1999 in the SLP number 917-918 of 1998. He in para 14 admits that bungalow number 18 and 19 are subjected to resumption notice, and further on he details something. A similar rejoinder is filed in the same SLP in May 2000, exactly 1 year later. Again in para 14 the admission comes, but here the twist is that the DO Ambala says that bungalow number 18 is under partial resumption. Now this is very important. He says the bungalow was not resumed in full. Being a partial resumption, the resumption notice is in a sine die situation. Now I'll prove this whether this bungalow was under a partial resumption or of complete resumption of its total area of somewhere 9.98 acres. The DO very clearly falsifies the Honorable Supreme Court and moves forward. Why? Because there's nobody on earth who has the guts, who has the courage to challenge these executives. It is very difficult if you have to live in the cantonment boundary pillars to disobey to the desires of the two custodians, that is the cantonment executive officer and the defense estate officers. These are the unabashed sovereigns of your boundary pillars. Friends, for the knowledge of my DO, Shri Alok Gupta, I will show you, I will ask my video man to show you a resumption notice issued to survey number 345 of late Shri Kamar Chand. This is a bungalow right adjacent to the Army School of Ambala, protruding towards the Jagadri Road, or what you call the Alexander Road. Now, this bungalow was issued a partial resumption notice in 1971. What my DO is mentioning about bungalow number 18 in Supreme Court. This bungalow was holding an area of 1.4 acres, out of which 0.856 acres, or the outhouse, the annex, was in tenancy with the Government of India. Now there is a policy where the Government of India, if it is holding a tenancy, it can resume that tenancy. So this partial resumption notice was issued, and Mr. Kamar Chand and his inheritors moved till the Supreme Court and they lost. If physically today seen, the bungalow is partially resumed and the other portion left over is with the inheritors of the Sardar Kamar Chand ji. So, what is the government doing? Is it taking us for a ride? Is it considering us that what they do is the last word? No. Friends, I am there. Because for me, it's like life and death. I, as a very ordinary citizen, woke up to this call of the preamble of my constitution that we all are one and equal. I started off my campaign against this information which was in my hand in 2005. It's very important. I had complete information of these 7 bungalows in my hand in 2005. I gave a leverage. Now, how I got this information is very important. When the DO refused to give me anything or was willing to share any information on bungalow number 18 and 19, it just struck my mind that, like my father, bungalow number 18, 19 owners also must have filed suit for declaration. So I started digging into the records of the judicial record room of Ambala courts, and you will be shocked. This is where I laid hands on another 5 resumption notices of Ambala cantonment. Like these 2 were lying sine die, and the department did not initiate anything on them. These were bungalow number 329, racecourse of my late President Rajkumar, bungalow number 68, a property owned by a Muslim in 1947 after partition came down to Waqf board. Another bungalow similar by Waqf board only, 68A. Another 3rd bungalow of the Waqf board owned originally by a Muslim, Inayatullah, of the Waqf board property, bungalow number 71 Mall Road. And the last was 150 L&B lines, which was lying in one corner of the southeast of Ambala cantonment. You will be shocked. In all these 7 cases, the Defence Estate Officer Ambala did not file regular second appeal. There was no closure report filed on these cases. Till date, the department is not willing to share that closure report. this doing of the ministry or the government of India or the Defence Estate Office Ambala shook me. They were not willing to divulge to any of my letters. I took the initiative then and I started writing letters to the President of India, who is the sole custodian of the three armies. I wrote a letter in January 2010. On the same date, I wrote a letter to the Defence Secretary. To my evil till date, these letters were just forwarded to the Ministry of Defence. I wrote another letter in January 24th, 2009 to the Chief Vigilance Officer India, Commissioner India. This letter was taken up properly, and after referring me all the letters, this again was marked to the Chief Vigilance Officer, Ministry of Defence. Till date, sir, no response, no reply. I even gave a letter with all annexures of 7 resumption notices to my Honorable Prime Minister in 2009 November, which was again marked to the Ministry of Defence. Then I wrote a letter in 2012 to the Director General, gave him a compendium in December when I was making a presentation in the Director General lands on my research subject. It holded every document which I dug out from the judicial record rooms, all my RTI applications. But to the then DG, no response. I had written letters in 2010 to the DO, which I'll ask my video man to show you, which I have a receiving also of this letter. Everything was falling on deaf ears. This is where I was getting antagonized. I was feeling, unrelished to the facts of the constitution, that where are we living in this world. So it gave me that frustration that cantonment boundary pillars, we residents are left to the mercy of these DOs and COs. They are like our rulers, or they are like our kings. And for them, we are subjects. We are slaves. We are natives. Their word is the final word. They can twist their arm to your good. They can twist their arm to your worse. Unless you do not compromise to every desire of theirs. So friends, I had even raised this issue in 2011 in my RSA for additional evidence. But that's history. I'll not speak on that much. So what really happened after 2011 and 2012 when my bungalow and my mother was thrown out of this? I decided that something should be done. I was being discriminated within my nation, within my constitution. And then my mentor in 2012 gave me a Supreme Court judgment. I will just suffix the reading of that Supreme Court judgment that says similarly situated properties, upheld by Punjab Haryana High Court, by Gujarat High Court, by Bombay High Court, moved to Supreme Court, upheld by Supreme Court. If discriminated, I have a right to object. Why alone me this is being happening? So friends, I took up this suit and now I'm fighting in 2017 a case on discrimination on these bungalows. And you will be shocked. The illegal HOR of Chitra Kumari, who actually gave me this affidavit, just backed off from all this. Thank you.